Hi, I'm going to be talking about Screaming Frog Crawl licenses, why that's important, why should you even get Screaming Frog Crawl, let alone get the license for it. And if you use it and you love it, we have a way to get the license 10% off, so you don't have to pay $200, right? The full price, right? But the whole point of this is you're able to take a look at every single page on their website, right? And you can see actually like all the things that could be wrong with it, right? And you can identify things wrong with it, right? But that's not alone just the most important thing. Once you get the license, you can get this data synced to every page. Google Analytics tells you if they're getting goals, if they're getting opt-ins from these pages. If someone's trying to get post panel signs and they land on this page, are they actually contacting the business? If you have Google Search Console set up, or you get access from your client, even if they've never paid you, just say, yeah, I'll do a crawl of your website. They see this, they've never gotten this. What they get is a conversation. Hi, I can do your SEO for you, sir or madam. Can I help? Give me $500. I have never seen your website before, but I know I can help you get top one to Google. Seeing this, they're like, holy crap. You can tell them how many clicks and how many impressions they get for this page, which is phenomenal. They don't know this. It's like you're unlocking a control panel with all the numbers they need off of their website. The thing that matters is how many users they get and how many sales. These tools are free, but doing this tells you how much they're making off of their website, right? If you set up some of these other tools, you get all this knowledge. You get page speed insights. It tells you how fast the page is loading. So if a page doesn't have rankings and doesn't get clicks, and you're like, oh, this page has like 60 seconds of a load time. Like, why? And then you tell the client, hey, this takes way too long to load. What's up with that? Oh, it's because there's a video. You didn't know that was a problem before, but now you do, right? Like you want to aim for 2 seconds per page, but this will tell you that. Majestic tells you how many links in the backlinking portfolio of the site or the pages. So if you have like a bunch of pages you're trying to keep track of, and you can say, hey, you know, these pages aren't getting clicks, they're getting impressions, but they aren't getting clicks. Majestic says they don't have any backlinks. Why don't we just spend time building out links or interlinking these pages? You don't have to buy links. Just say, okay, well, you have a page on beer signs and restaurant signs. Why don't I go to the menu signs page and mention that, you know, link to these pages? And then Majestic will say, okay, you're doing well. And then the next time you run this, next month, the client sees, oh, that's not a problem anymore. Whatever you did took care of it. Right? They're going to say they got more calls. Ahrefs tells you a lot. You can map how authoritative the pages are, each page. So if your keyword, let's say, is like Minneapolis SEO expert, right? That has like a keyword difficulty of 13. If the UR or the URL, you know, relevance rating is too low, right? You can just say, oh, okay, well, maybe I just changed my keyword to something that fits more aligned to the authority of my website. Let me work on that, right? It just tells you how authoritative your website goes. So over time, you'll see that your DR and your authority like go higher over time if you're doing all this link outreach and stuff. Moz, you know, works with local. I mean, come on, like this is really easy, right? By itself, it tells you all of this info. It tells you if, you know, the status code is set up with like, you know, if it's right. This tells me, oh, there's a 404 page, right? If there's any traffic to it, you should redirect it. Otherwise, if there's no traffic to it, just get rid of it. Get rid of it off of Google. It's saying it's not found, but somehow Google is spending time on this page. If I don't know how many clicks, I don't know what the decision should be. Should I take like 10 minutes to figure out what page that is and then go into Google Analytics manually and figure out? No, it could just literally be a cell in the far back that says, hey, this page doesn't have any clicks, just for tenant, like just get rid of it, right? Change the status from 404 to 410, right? It's just easy. I just go click the cogwheel, you know, let's say I'm logging in. I'm going to click my account, blah, 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 go down to find that. I'm going to segment it to just organic traffic. I'm going to go to date range. I'm going to go back. Usually when I start, I just get the first year, right? But if I'm working on the client month by month, and then I just do an average of like 3 months. So from January to April, I'm going to click OK. As long as you stay consistent, that's fine. I just like to do trailing averages of 3 months and sums of 3 months. So now I have that set up. Now I'm going to go set up Google Search Console. Same thing. I'm going to connect. It's going to pop up and say, connect to your account. Well, you know, I'm going to go do that. And I'm just going to go in and do boom, boom, do that. Date range, make sure it's 3 months. I'm not going to set all this up. You guys get the picture. I'm going to click start, and then it's going to crawl again. But this time, you're going to see something different. It's going to be kind of cool. All right. I'm not going to just crawl 100%. I'm just going to pause it. I'm going to export it. Right. I'm just going to export all the HTML pages. Click export. I'm just going to save it as that. I have this template here. These are just some technical things that you check. So when you show the client this and they see this, they're like, wow, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. So I'm gonna upload the file that I put together. Right? It's in my desktop, internal. What was it? Internal HTML. It's this file. I'm just gonna add this in there, right? Right. I'm just gonna insert the new sheet, and you can see that like we're working on we're working on this template. Like right now, we have 4 SEOs working on this right now. That like we're checking all these things, and we're taking our best audits, our best templates, and pasting it into this master template. Anyway, here's the pages. So here's the thing. It tells you all of this. It tells you all this info. It tells you the status code. It tells you what that really means. It tells you if it's indexable. So did robots tell you to skip it? It tells you if there's any meta descriptions. Because that's important. It tells you if you even set that. Right? It tells you if you even have H1s or H2s. If you see pages without H1s, you can say, Mr. Client, this page doesn't have an H1. Mr. Client, this, and this. These pages don't have an H1. Your page for awnings, like that's the keyword, but that's a really difficult keyword for you. You're competing nationally. Why don't you just put in something like Minneapolis awnings, right? Like something like that. Something that'll let them get traffic, right? But the thing with getting a license for Screaming Frog Crawl, you can now set goals. And these are based on what you've set in Google Analytics. So with this, we see, oh, this page got 2.25 page views and people stayed on the website for 2 minutes. All right. This page got 8 views and people stayed on this page for 14 minutes. That's really good. But people going to this page, right, stayed on the page for 35 seconds. That's not good. We want people to stay on the page as long as possible. So if they search and they stay there, Google doesn't have to have them research the same keyword. That's good. That's very good for this page to rank. People aren't going to go back and search for something different because Google's like, oh, they didn't like the first website. They didn't get their solution. That site must not be a good site for anyone. Not as much as as the site that the guy went to and they stopped because they got what they needed, obviously, because they didn't search again, right? So we want to get people on the site. We want them to stay on the site for 30 seconds. If they stay on the site for 30 seconds, like they're mesmerized, they see value, and they read, they're going to stay on the site for another 3 minutes, usually like 2 or 3 minutes. If they're on the website for 2 or 3 minutes, it means like they're considering it, they're reading it. If they're on the website for more than 3 minutes, it means all they need is something to pop up to say, hey, can I help you? I have an opt-in. I have a checklist. You're trying to design this awning for your company. You're trying to have someone build it for you. Here's how we do that. Here's our download our cheat sheet. Visit our webinar. That'll pop up, and then they'll look at that, and then they'll consider, and that's how they get started. So this isn't just for SEO, it's for actually making the money, right? You measure the goals and you can see the goal value. That's just Google Analytics. There's so much info. All these pages don't have any goals completed. Maybe it's because they didn't set goals. Maybe they didn't actually have someone go in and say, hey, let's actually set these goals. But the thing with these clicks, impressions, and click-through rate and the average position, that's Google Search Console. I can see that these pages aren't set up. That's a huge red flag. But usually it'll say something like this page has 700 impressions and it has 0 clicks. The click-through rate is 0%. That's not so good. So when you're debugging this and you're finding issues, you can bring that to the client. The client says, okay, I see the value. If I can even, we're getting results here. If we raise this to, if you raise this to 3%, that must mean this must be, we can actually get value from this, right? Whatever. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you need a Screaming Frog Crawl license. I got a guy.